Hi everyone, it's me, Prasanna Ranganathan. You can call me Pras. It's my first time, well actually my second time on Facebook Live. I'm very excited to be doing this because I love awards season. I absolutely love awards season. Ever since I was a kid, it would basically be like Christmas extended. So I'm super excited to be on with you live chatting about all things Golden Globes, which is our first awards season of the year. I've done podcasts before, I've done radio interviews before with the CBC. I was a social media correspondent for The Insider at the Screen Actors Guild Awards, and I've done some writing for the Huffington Post, but this is the first time I've sort of been on camera. Let's just say I have a face that's more suited for podcasts, but I love awards so much, I love movies so much that I wanted to share my love of them with you. I hope that you love it as we chat all things Golden Globes. Anyway, I just also want to let you know I'm legally blind, so I have trouble seeing things that are in very small print, which will make responding to your comments during the course of the conversation somewhat difficult. But a friend of mine, Salima, has agreed to text me at the end of like sort of a 10-minute chat about the awards show with the questions that you've posed, and maybe I can answer a few of them in the minutes that remain. So let's get things started. So why are the Golden Globes so important? What's the dealio with the Golden Globes? So it is officially the first awards show of the season. This year it's January the 8th, which is Sunday. This Sunday, Golden Globes Sunday. Not to be confused with Super Bowl Sunday. No one would confuse it for that, but it is this Sunday. It is the first official awards show of the season. It is one of the only awards shows that award both comedy, musical, drama, film, and television. So it has everybody, all of the stars. And it is also the biggest platform save for the Oscars. This is where a lot of candidates or nominees sort of launch their awards show run with either super amazing speeches, which people remember and replay on all of their interview clips throughout the season, so it can be killer Stella, or it could be really brutal awards show speeches, which can tank their chances and make it sort of super awkward for the rest of the awards season. So the Golden Globes are an interesting beast. Only 87 to 90 people actually vote for who wins the Golden Globes. So the Academy Awards are voted on by over 6,000 members. And these are people in all branches. Actors, cinematographers, producers, directors. The Golden Globes, however, is 87 to 90 foreign journalists. That's journalists that are not in North America, or not in the US in particular. They actually represent 55 countries around the world, and they are the ones that vote on the Golden Globes. Of the 87 to 90 members, only one member, a former actress, her name is Lisa Liu, who appeared in the Joy Luck Club, who is now a journalist. She is a voting member in the Golden Globes, and she's the only one who has a vote for the Oscars. Otherwise, everyone else is a journalist with no impact on who wins the Oscars. This is only for the Golden Globes. The Golden Globes were started in 1944, which means this year's the 74th anniversary of the Golden Globes. And they, in addition to hosting the annual awards show, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, which is the group that votes on the Globes, also does a lot of charity work throughout the year. So whatever dollar bills they make by selling the rights to the awards show to NBC, a lot of that money goes to funding scholarships for film schools, providing like outreach initiatives to support like entertainment and film museums, entertainment and film outreach programs. So they're super cool. Fun facts about the Golden Globes. As I mentioned earlier, other than the Critics' Choice Awards, it's one of the only that split the winners into comedy slash musical, and drama. And they only do this for the Best Picture categories, the Best Actor categories, lead actor, comedy, musical, drama, lead actress, comedy, musical, drama. They do not do this for the supporting categories. They don't do this for director or any of the other categories, screenplay, etc. only for those top, I guess, total of 6 categories. The Golden Globes have an interesting way of figuring out what's a comedy. Things that have been considered a comedy in the past include The Martian, which is a movie last year about Matt Damon being trapped in space. I don't know, it did not make me laugh. Even when he harvested his potatoes with his poo, I still did not think it was a comedy. It was clearly a drama. But the Golden Globes seemed to think it was a comedy and gave him the award for Best Actor in a Comedy. I think it also won Best Musical Comedy last year at the Globes, so The Martian and the Poo Potatoes clearly made everybody laugh. The other thing that's cool about the Globes is the Cecil B. DeMille Award, and it's kind of like their Lifetime Achievement Award that's given out sort of every year. Past winners have included Denzel Washington, they've included Jodie Foster, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. This year, it's going to my favorite actress of all time, Meryl Streep! Sorry, I had to pull out the Oprah voice. It's Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep is up to win the Cecil B. DeMille Award this year. She's also nominated in Best Lead Actress Musical or Comedy for Florence Foster Jenkins. So the exciting thing is we're going to get to see a Meryl Streep speech at the Globes, which of all of the Meryl Streep speeches you want to see is the best Meryl Streep speech to see. So Cecil B. DeMille Award. Meryl Streep also is the record holder. She has the most nominations in Globes history with 29 nominations across television and film and 8 wins. So she holds the record across the board, actors, actresses, all across the board for the most Golden Globe nods, most Golden Globe wins. Some years, actors win twice. I think that's a little greedy, but if you can get 1 or 2, I guess you would take 2. So the last double winner was Kate Winslet back in 2009. She won for both The Reader and Revolutionary Road and gave super weepy acceptance speeches both times, but like super genuine and earnest. She won twice. Before that, I think it was Helen Mirren who won once on the TV side, once on the film side in the same year. There's no Best Documentary category at the Globes. For some reason, I guess the HFPA, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, maybe not super into documentaries, maybe they're like, we want to stick to the narrative film side. In terms of the setup of the room, it's all dinner tables with nonstop pop, aka alcohol. There's like booze all night. I would say the seating arrangement's a bit like The Shining. Have you ever seen The Shining? There's that maze at the end. I swear to you, the inspiration for the seating arrangements is the Shining maze sequence at the end. Because God forbid one of the television actors wins an award, you see them spend 3 minutes loop-de-loop-de-loop through the thing to get to stage. And you're just like, where's Jack Nicholson? Why isn't he chasing these people down the maze? Because that is how long it takes them to get to the front. There is no music at the Golden Globes. So even though there's a category for Best Song and Best Score, nobody actually performs. So unlike the Oscars, you don't get the benefit of a concert and an awards show. It's just an awards show. But, like I said, there's alcohol. So the benefits of that are that as the night progresses, nominees get increasingly, let's say, well, I don't want to say drunk, but I did just say it. But their speeches get more entertaining as a result. So, no music, but they have all you can drink. So, super entertaining speeches. The other interesting thing about the Golden Globes, which you might not know, is they have a Mr. or Miss Golden Globes every year. Now, this is like a child of a celebrity. So let's think about past winners. Melanie Griffith was a past Miss Golden Globe. Michael J. Fox's son was a past Mr. Golden Globe. Last year, Jamie Foxx's daughter was Miss Golden Globe. And this year, the title of Miss Golden Globe is going to be shared by 3 people, the daughters of Sylvester Stallone, Sasha, Sistine, and Scarlett Stallone. So they help hand the awards out and make sure that the winners get off stage in time to do their press backstage, make sure that no one stumbles. They're generally introduced throughout the night, so look out for Miss Golden Globes, and this year it's ×3. So I guess the only other thing you need to know about the Golden Globes is there's the quote-unquote blender category. And it's the category at the end of the TV awards, which is Best Supporting Actor in a Television Series Drama, Best Supporting Actor in a Television Series Comedy, Best Supporting Actor in a Television Movie, Best Supporting Actor in a Television Miniseries. And guess what? They're all in the same category. So predicting that one is like, I don't know, just throw the dice and guess whichever one gets first, because there's really no way of choosing it. Every year it's a surprise. And really, they should split up the categories, but the Golden Globes already run 3 hours, so who wants to see 3 more hours of that? The thing about the Golden Globes that's interesting this year, and it's only the 5th time in history that the Golden Globes has had a host. Now you think the Oscars every year, it's a big hoopla about who's the host, who's the host, who's the host. Well, with the Golden Globes, not every year has had a host. The first time there was a host was 1995, and that role was shared by John Larroquette, Night Court, and Janine Turner, Northern Exposure. They shared the hosting duties in 1995. After that, the next time there was a host was back in, I believe, 2010. 2010, 11, and 12, Ricky Gervais hosted 3 times in a row. Then 2012, 13, and actually 2013, 14, and 15, the best hosts ever of any awards show, I will argue, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler did the hosting duties. And my favorite line of all time still comes from the times they hosted, when they introduced Gravity by saying the following: Gravity, a film about how George Clooney would rather float away in space and die than spend another moment with a woman his own age. The best joke, bar none, at any awards show. So they hosted until 2015. 2016, Ricky Gervais came back, and then this year, it's Jimmy Fallon. So Jimmy Fallon will be taking the reins of the Golden Globes for the first time this year, which is super exciting because Jimmy has hosted the Emmys before, back in 2010, I believe, stellar hosting stint where he and the cast of Glee and Lena Dunham and a series of other people did like an opening sequence. It was just epic. It was just so epic. So I'm intrigued to see if Jimmy Fallon's going to bring some music to this, especially with La La Land in the mix. I'm thinking there might be a musical number to kick things off. So here's hoping that that happens. So I've been yammering a lot, and I think what you really want to know is, okay, I got all these fun facts to like charm my Golden Globe viewing party people with. Now I want to know if I'm going to enter a pool about who's going to win, who are my picks in the categories. So I'm going to focus on film today because there's a lot of television categories. And I think the focus should be on film for the moment because that's probably where you're going to put the most in terms of your bets and your friendly wagers on the various categories. So we're going to start first. Let's see. I'm just scrolling down my list here of nominees. We have foreign language film. So there's a bit of a debate. I've been reading a lot over the last little while to figure out, okay, which films. I think that the top 2 contenders for this are Paul Verhoeven's Elle, which is the French language submission for foreign language films for the Oscars as well, or Tony Erdmann, which is Germany's submission this year. So I think it's going to be a knockout drag-out between Elle and Tony Erdmann. So betting on one of those 2 will be the good one. I'm thinking, based on the Critics' Choice Awards, it went to Elle. So if you're thinking the critics might, given their role as journalists as well, be in more line with what the HFPA is thinking, then I would go with Elle. Okay, in terms of best animated feature film, I got to give props to Zootopia. Zootopia was one of the best films of the year. Talk about dealing with issues of unconscious bias and discrimination and stereotyping in a film that's accessible to all ages. Zootopia, it raised the roof. Best original song. Now this is an interesting one. This is up with Can't Stop the Feeling from Trolls, City of Stars from La La Land, Faith from Sing, Gold from the movie Gold, and How Far I'll Go from Moana. Now, normally I would not be stupid as to bet against Lin-Manuel Miranda. The man's a genius. I've been desperately trying to get into Hamilton for months. But I think that in this case, the award is most likely going to go to City of Stars from La La Land. I think the emotional sort of like oomph of it, plus Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, and then the potential to maybe see them at the Oscars do the duet version, I think it'll be too much to resist. I think people are going to go for City of Stars. Best Original Score is Moonlight, La La Land, Arrival, Lion, and Hidden Figures. Again, I'm going to throw my weight behind La La Land because it's hard not to give a Best Score win to a film that's a musical, which necessarily uses scores. Best Screenplay. Now, this one's a little bit challenging. We have Damien Chazelle from La La Land, Tom Ford from Nocturnal Animals, Barry Jenkins from Moonlight, Kenneth Lonergan from Manchester by the Sea, and Taylor Sheridan for Hell or High Water. I think it's going to be Kenny Lonergan. Now, he's been nominated once before for You Can Count on Me, and I think that this time he's going to cinch it. Now, the Tom Ford mention brings up something before we get into the acting races. The Golden Globes has also kind of had a little bit of a history of scandal. Not Shonda Rhimes scandal, but scandal. Like this year, for instance, the Golden Globes has like a rule where you cannot buy the voters you can't spend more than $95 on a gift promoting your movie to the voters. Why you gotta spend money promoting your movie to the voters, I have no idea. There are 90 people whose job it is to watch, film, and write reviews. But there's a $95 cap. This year, apparently, the studio behind Nocturnal Animals sent every Golden Globes voter his and her version of Tom Ford perfume, which exceeded the $95 cap, which means that they had to return one bottle. Now, they were given the choice of which bottle they wanted to return, but they were forced to return one bottle. Now, this is not the first time. Back in the late 90s, an actress who I will not name apparently sent every Golden Globes voter a Coach watch or a wallet, which clearly exceeded the amount. She was nominated but didn't end up winning. There's another one that talked about how this year every voter was sent by Focus Features a wedding cake with an interracial couple, bride and groom on the top, in support of the film Loving. And one of the voters said by the time he got home, the cake was kind of melting on his porch, and he did not want to eat it, so he sent it back. But I'm just thinking, just send people your DVDs, seriously. Why would you send them cake that sat on their doorstep all day? Anyway, I digress. Back to Best Supporting Actress. Now, this one's an interesting one because Best Supporting Actress doesn't split into comedy and drama. It only stays as one category. We have Viola Davis in Fences, Naomi Harris in Moonlight, Nicole Kidman in Lion, Octavia Spencer in Hidden Figures, Michelle Williams in Manchester by the Sea. Now, I think without question this is going to Viola Davis. The interesting thing was people were divided for a while as to whether she should be campaigned in lead or supporting. Having seen the film, I think supporting works given that the focus seems to be on Denzel's character Troy. But keep your eye out for this category because the Oscars have a history of not going with precursor awards, and Viola could be bumped to lead. But for now, she is my pick to win Best Supporting Actress. Best Supporting Actor, Mahershala Ali for Moonlight, Jeff Bridges, Hell or High Water, Simon Helberg, Florence Foster Jenkins, Dave Patel, Lion, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Nocturnal Animals. For me, without question, I think this is Mahershala Ali. He won the Critics' Choice Award. He's been an odds-on favorite. You may recognize him as Remy from House of Cards. He is absolutely sublimely brilliant in the first third of Moonlight. So I highly recommend Moonlight if you haven't seen it. I think Mahershala Ali is taking home the win. So now we have Best Actress, Comedy or Musical. There's Annette Bening, 20th Century Women, Lily Collins, Rules Don't Apply, Haley Steinfeld, The Edge of 17, Emma Stone, La La Land, and Meryl Streep, Florence Foster Jenkins. Now, never underestimate the power of the Streep. The Streep has won 8 times. The Streep has been nominated 29 times. She is a legend. She is my favorite actress of all time. Never underestimate her. The thing is, Meryl Streep is guaranteed a win this year, having been awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award, the Cecil B. DeMille Award. So I think this category is going to go to Emma Stone, who knocks out the audience with her performance in La La Land. This is her 3rd nomination. She's previously been nominated for Birdman 2 years ago in supporting, and two 2 or 3 years before that in 2010 for Easy A. So I think she's going to take her first win here. Now, Best Actor Comedy is a battle of the Ryans. There's Colin Farrell, Lobster, Ryan Gosling, La La Land, Hugh Grant, Florence Foster Jenkins, Jonah Hill, War Dogs, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool. It's between Ryan Gosling and Ryan Reynolds. Canadian Ryan versus Canadian Ryan. I think Ryan Gosling, La La Land has this in the bag. Deadpool wowed audiences. Reynolds got a Critics' Choice Award for Action Movie Star Comedy. He also got a huge Career Achievement Award at the Critics' Choice Awards, and he's great, and I think he elevates the genre, blah, 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 blah. I'm so sophisticated with my words right now. But I think this one is Gosling's for sure. He just wowed audiences, and I think this will be his major win for that film this season. Best Actress in a Drama, Amy Adams' Arrival. 8 previous nominations, 2 previous wins for Amy Adams. Jessica Chastain, Miss Sloane. She's won once in the past for Zero Dark 30. Isabelle Huppert for Elle, her first nomination. Ruth Negga for Loving, also her first nomination. Natalie Portman for Jackie. This is her 4th nomination. She's won twice before for Closer, the Mike Nichols film, in supporting, and for Black Swan in lead. And Black Swan ultimately led her to the Oscar. So I think it's going to be Jackie, which will ultimately set up the Natalie Portman versus Emma Stone for the Best Actress win at the Oscars. But getting ahead of myself. Best Actor Drama, Casey Affleck, Manchester by the Sea. He's been nominated once before for the assassination of Jesse James. Joel Edgerton, Loving. Andrew Garfield, Hacksaw Ridge. Viggo Mortensen, Captain Fantastic. And Denzel Washington, Fences. Now, I think Denzel gave the performance of his career in Fences. And I am so torn between him and Casey Affleck. I think Denzel should take this, but I think based on precursor awards and who's won so far and where the momentum is, I think Casey Affleck's going to win. But my goodness, if Denzel take it, I'll be standing, cheering, and hollering in my living room. Best Director, Damien Chazelle, La La Land. Tom Ford, Nocturnal Animals. Mel Gibson, Hacksaw Ridge. Barry Jenkins, Moonlight. And Kenneth Lonergan, Manchester by the Sea. Again, I think this one is going to go to Damien Chazelle. La La Land was his creation, start to finish, screenplay. He envisioned the whole thing. He was the genius behind Whiplash 2 years ago, the serious movie about music where he made music frightening, and J.K. Simmons won an Oscar and he made everyone cry in the theater because he was so frightening. Damien Chazelle is the brainchild behind that and La La Land. And this is only his 2nd movie, Whiplash being his first, La La Land his 2nd. I think he's going to win this. Best Picture Comedy or Musical, 20th Century Women, Deadpool, Florence Foster Jenkins, La La Land, Sing Street. Again, I think it's La La Land. There's no question. I was going to do a drum roll, but why do a drum roll when it's so obvious? La La Land, it's got it. Finally, Best Picture Drama. Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, Lion, Manchester by the Sea, Moonlight. Drum roll, please. I think it's a horse race. I think 2 films have the possibility to win this one. I think conventional wisdom would lead most people to think Manchester by the Sea because it's Kenneth Lonergan, who's a previous Globe nominee for screenplay. It has the Best Actor likely winning performance, Casey Affleck, in it. It's been well received. Matt Damon's a producer. They know he'll be there at the awards. They'd love to see Matt Damon on stage giving a thank you speech. But there's something undeniably incredible about Moonlight. And Moonlight has captivated audiences everywhere. And I think the Critics' Choice Award ended up going to La La Land, but I think it was because Moonlight was ineligible. It won a big ensemble category, which meant that it couldn't be in the running for the Best Picture, but I'll have to double check that for next time if I do this. But without question, I think it's between Manchester by the Sea and Moonlight. I'm leaning more towards Moonlight, but I wouldn't be surprised if Manchester took it. So television. There's a lot of TV. There's a lot of Amazon. There's a lot of Hulu. There's a lot of Netflix. There's a lot of HBO. There's a lot. So I'm not going to go through all the categories, but I will say this. I think I will be cheering so loud if Issa Rae from Insecure wins. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who's won an Emmy for every single season of Veep, has not ever won a Golden Globe for Veep. So it would be incredible to see her up on stage as well. But Issa's against Julia, so I don't know who I'm voting for. They're both incredible. But Issa Rae in Insecure this season, man, she was just amazing. Think a guaranteed person that you will see on stage, Sarah Paulson, who played Marcia Clark in The People versus O.J. Simpson. Absolutely incredible performance. Has won the Emmy, has won the Critics' Choice Award. She's up now for a Screen Actors Guild Award in a few weeks, and the Golden Globe. I think she's got the Golden Globe in the bag. So the other interesting thing is, in the TV side, the Golden Globes tend to prefer new shows. So they like to be super cutting edge, all like, we noticed it first, we noticed it was amazing first, and they will likely choose New Blood for, that's not the name of a show, it's not the sequel to True Blood, sorry, a new winner in this category. So they could go with NBC's This Is Us, or they could go with HBO's Westworld, or they could go with Stranger Things on Netflix. I think it'll be definitely something new and exciting. I think the same is true for comedy. So tune in January the 8th to see all the Golden Globes excitement. Let me know if my predictions are right. Pop a comment down here if I'm like talking too fast, too loud, too soft, crazy, too crazy, not crazy enough. I'd love to hear your feedback. This is my first time doing it. I love everything movie and film, so I feel like I'm super excited and speak a mile a minute and kind of am like high-pitched and super enthusiastic, but I love it. I love sharing it with you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to check my phone to see if there are any questions. So far, I have not seen any questions. So pop your questions in the comments below. I'll be sure to answer them as in the next, like, I don't know, like few hours, few days, whatever. Enjoy Golden Globes Sunday. Tune in. If you guys are going to do like a drinking or like chocolate eating game, someone thanks their lawyer. Let me know what you're going to do. I'll join in on the chocolate part. And Happy New Year, everybody. Happy Golden Globes week and enjoy Sunday. Bye.